Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, bring on les habitants. Yes, Timmy's les habitants against the Tampa Bay Lightning. You literally have a hole in your underarm shirt.
Oh, yeah. You know why? Because this is one of the shirts I was wearing when I got thrown out of the bar over the weekend. Totally ripped it. You know, it's just easier to apply deodorant now.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
Got one over there too. No,
I didn't think this. No, you don't. I didn't think the show was going to start like this, but yeah, you should have heard the pre-show.
Oh my
Pre-show
God,
was fantastic.
it was even better.
I need an attorney. Welcome into the JP Peterson Show here on Tuesday. We're finally back in the friendly confines of the studio, where I feel much more comfortable and able to spew our magic here.
You know what's funny is Friday I obviously co-hosted the Big O show because JP was indisposed.
You guys had fun. I like it.
Oh man, first of all, yeah, let me say how much fun that was. It's awesome doing a show with him, and
he's the best, man.
Tapping into his knowledge, and he solved one of my life's mysteries that I've had since I was like 8 years old as far as baseball goes. But maybe we'll get into that later.
Well, why you can't hit the curveball?
I always have trouble with the curve, JP.
Yeah.
But he came into the studio, but he doesn't know how to work any of the equipment.
Right. Yeah.
So it was his idea. He's like, come on, just send me the link. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to put the microphone in front of my face with the background, and it's going to look like I'm talking into the equipment. I'm like, all right. And that's what he did. And it looked amazing.
Well, there you go.
It was awesome.
There you go.
But yeah, dude,
whatever it takes.
What a freaking wealth of knowledge that dude is. I love that dude.
He's got so many great stories. He will be joining us today.
Oh, will he? Yeah.
The show. And then we'll be doing a Big O show today as the Rays go back on the road to Chicago, going up to take on the White Sox. Sugar Shane will be back on the bump tonight against the very bad White Sox team. So good chance for the Rays to continue their win streak after a big sweep of the Yankees, who have now lost 5 in a row.
The Yankees.
I don't know if they played last night, but anyway, I know who did. That's your Tampa Bay Lightning, baby. Be the Thunder. Lightning get a win last night in overtime, but Timmy, I got to tell you, the way they're playing right now does not give me great confidence heading into the playoffs. Now, sometimes that matters not, especially with experienced teams like the Lightning. They know how to flip the switch when the playoffs come. That said, we're still, working on a couple of years of first-round exits. It's been a while since this Lightning team has gone deep into the playoffs. And when they were at 21-1 on that streak, pre-Olympic break, we were all like, woohoo, let's go to the playoffs now. Then the Olympic break came, and then everything changed with this team. Everything changed. And quite frankly, they had a little bit of success, but it has not sustained itself in playing the right way, playing defensively first, great coverage. The last week has been nothing but really, really sloppy defense. Vassie has been left exposed too many times, just hanging out there in the wind. Last night, he was just freaking unbelievable. There was a sequence late in the third period, or I guess about midway through the third period, where I think the Red Wings had a power play, and he made like 5 or 6 just grade A stops right in a row. And it's just like nothing. Guys right in the slot, wide open. He's just like, do, get out of here. I mean, he was fantastic. He could have scored 10 goals last night, the Red Wings, a team that had nothing to play for, which are sometimes the most dangerous teams because they're so loose and fancy free. They don't really care about, giving up goals. They're just aggressive. So, but unfortunately, the Lightning could not really get the ice tilted back in the third period. They only had 2 shots. They got a 3-1 lead. We'll start back from the beginning. It just overall, it's just a sloppy game, and they gave up way too many odd man rushes. Was something that we saw early in the season, and every one of their slumps this year have been very similar in that way. Defensively, their coverage is just god awful. Last night there was a couple of goals. I'm trying to remember exactly which one it was where, you got Destu and a couple other guys just standing around in front of the net while guys are just taking whacks at the puck. And, instead of physically taking people out and clearing the front of the net, they're just like sticking their sticks out. That ain't going to work. And they know that. They know that's not going to work in the playoffs. And maybe they're just not at that level yet. They're certainly not at that intensity level. If they take this intensity level into the playoffs, they'll get stomped by Les Habitants. But that's not going to happen. This is not the way they're going to play in the playoffs. I don't believe that. I think this is an experienced group that knows they're in the playoffs, and they know when it comes time for the real games to start. Secret regular season's kind of a joke in NHL and the NBA. For a team like the Lightning, you look at the Red Wings; they have not made the playoffs in 10 years. You look at
how hard is that to believe, though, as an organization?
Oh my God, they went and before that, they went 25 years in a row. and won 4 cups. And then Stevie Yzerman got there, and it's not been good.
He might be the John Elway of the NHL.
Yeah, well, he certainly built a hell of a core here in Tampa Bay before he left. So thanks for that. But he's not been able to replicate that in Detroit whatsoever. So, and you look at what the Lightning have done. 9 straight years, them and the Avalanche, the only ones in the league. 13 out of 14, if I'm not mistaken, or 12 out of 13. I mean, their consistency in the playoffs is just incredible. But it's not been great lately. And they got to turn that around. And, so we're heading into that. And as Cooper says, heading into the playoffs, you want to be playing well and healthy. And right now they're neither. Yeah. Now they're getting there. The Radish and Hagel did not play last night, but that was not meant to be serious. The only really loss that they have going into the playoffs is Pontus Holmberg, and that's a huge, huge, huge loss. That third line was just the shutdown line that, Coop was just using so well. And now Nick Paul takes over, and we had on the postgame show last night with Chief and Engblom and the great Greg Linelli running point and myself adding comedic delivery and asking some really deep questions. That was kind of the thing. Is Nick Paul the guy that takes Holmberg's place and actually adds to that line? Because he's a much better finisher than Holmberg, but he adds good defensively. And one of Holmberg's superpowers is, just keeping the puck in the backpack. You can't get the puck from him. And that's but this line could be better and more dangerous from a scoring standpoint with Nick Paul. And as Engblom pointed out, that puts 2 centers on that line. And if you have a face-off in the playoffs, he said, it's kind of easy to get rid of the number one face-off guy for the other team if you really want to. Then you get, the 2 backups come in and you have a center going against a winger. So there's a lot of different ways that Nick Paul can add to that line and be really good in the playoffs. So we're all kind of interested to see how that works. Last night it was good. And Sabrin, that line last night was surprisingly really good. Geeky played really, really well. If we can, if he can, translate his AHL success to the playoffs, boy, that's going to be a kick in the pants in a good way for the Lightning. I mean, if he can find a little bit of scoring touch and add a little bit of depth in scoring, last night he had a breakaway, and he's been working with the old Barb Underhill, our skating director here, who has transformed so many players and their skating. It's been a huge part of the Lightning success over the years. And Geeky's gotten faster and he's gotten better. And last night he showed that speed, got out in front of the defenders, could not catch him, could not really affect him, and he scored on a breakaway. And that was, that was eye-opening. And that line was good all night long. But defensively is where you win the cup. And their coverage right now is just god awful. They're just not recognizing where the danger is coming from time and time again. They're just fixated on the puck. The effort level, maybe for some of these young guys, they're hitting a bit of a wall. That would be bad. A lot of these guys haven't played this much hockey. And certainly when they go into the playoffs with the intensity level, it's going to be a wake-up call. But most of this team obviously is very, very experienced. Mm-hmm. So, but obviously Destu's never been there. Lilleberg, little experience. I mean, there's just not a whole lot of great experience when it comes, in some of the blue liners. But listen, this is a team that, like we said, went 21-1. Can they find it in the playoffs? Can they find that gear? I think they can. And obviously Kucherov is going to be a huge key. He has somewhat disappeared in the playoffs against the Panthers, and that's a whole different deal. Cheap shot after cheap shot after cheap shot just adds up. But don't think that the Canadians aren't going to try the same shit. They are. But will they go over the line like the Panthers did? Hopefully not.
Not with that coach.
No.
He's not that kind of coach.
I totally agree. So, and that's the way the game should be played, frankly, not the way the Panthers play it.
Should never be played that way. And for some reason, the league continues to, we know the reason, but the league continues to allow it, and it's a joke. It's embarrassing itself. But look, to me, the reason why I think it's harder to go on those kind of runs in the postseason, number one, you're playing the same team in series. You're not, jumping back and forth between home games and road games with just random teams. You're playing the same team for at least 4 games, 5, sometimes 6, sometimes 7. So from night to night, to me, the fun part about the NHL playoffs is the chess match that goes on between the coaches, right, and the lines and the strategies in between games. Yeah. Both teams are adjusting to what they just saw, but you don't know if you're going to have the same look again. So to me, that's where coaching comes into it. It's anticipation. Right. And if you just want to go coach versus coach, who has the experience and the coaching ability advantage? Well, it's Coop. To me, it's not close.
Obviously. Yeah.
And I love my Habs, but this team is obviously more experienced. Now you've got a top heavy level of experience, I think, because you got a lot of young guys. Habs have some young guys too, but man, I think to me, I don't know. This is a 6-game series for me. And I haven't looked and analyzed this too much, but just off the top of my head from what I saw in the regular season, this might be a 5-game series advantage Lightning.
Yeah, I
say that a little bit too, obviously.
Yeah, when you look at the games this year in the regular season, I know it's a different deal. I was very impressed by the Canadians on multiple levels, but I also feel that Dobesh, especially in the last 2 games, kind of stole those games. Especially the one that was at home a couple of weeks ago. I thought the Lightning outplayed Montreal. So I'm not going to dismiss them. Obviously, Cole Caulfield's had a 50-goal season. Suzuki's a hell of a player. The play they made the other night to win the game was, that was really good. They've got some really, really dynamic players. They're big. But the experience, the savvy, and I hope the want to. I hope this Lightning team is playing with a purpose and a frustration of 2 straight years of first-round losses. I want to see an intensity that I've just not seen. And I think they can get there. And I think that's going to be the most important part. Bengblom always quotes the great Scotty Bowman when it comes to the playoffs. And he said, it's not just the team that plays harder. It's the team that plays the hardest, the longest.
Yeah.
It's an attrition sport. And from game to game, from period to period, from shift to shift, whoever plays hardest, the longest, usually wins. Yeah, there's puck luck here and there, but it's the intensity level. And Coop has always had a way of getting the guys to play to that level. Now, they've not had any real success since Stamkos left and his leadership left. That's just fact. Although, Stammer, and I'm not to say it's not saying that we miss his game, because obviously it aged not well. Scored a lot of goals this year, but I think it was plus 20 something in the plus minus, or he was minus 20 something. And that's really why the Lightning would rather have Jake Gensel and basically who we traded the salary for. So, but leadership is their leadership. Obviously the captain is down.
Stamkos was minus 18 this year. Yeah. With 40 goals.
Yeah. He had a really good season. But there's, some holes, obviously. And, is the leadership on this team going to push that intensity level to where it needs to be? That remains to be seen. Corey Perry is a guy that you hope brings everybody into the fight. I'll put Brandon Hagel's competitiveness up against anybody in this league. Braden Point needs to get his ass going. He just does. There's no hiding it. He if he disappears in the playoffs, the Lightning have no chance to go deep. They might be able to win, a round or two, but one round, but they need Braden Point to be the 50-goal scorer that he is. And we haven't seen that. So I'm just being objective. And there's holes in the Lightning's game, but there's holes in every team's game. I don't see a super team out there. Colorado's really, really good. But the Lightning have the best coach and they have the best goaltender in the playoffs, in my opinion. So that goes a long way. And they've got, arguably the best playmaker in the game in Kucherov, but he's got to show up in the postseason. So question marks abound, but that's what makes it great, bro. That's what makes it great. Everyone, I cannot wait to get to the games. I cannot wait. We got a game Wednesday night, obviously, against the Rangers. We're now playing their AHL team, which is better than their NHL team.
Oh, we lost JP. Do we lose you? We lost JP. Brian, there you are. You're back now.
And Blum, always says he'd rather start on the road. I don't know about that. With my, I don't want to play Game 7 in the Bell Center. Like that'd be nuts. And I think this series could go 7. But I also, if we start on the road, and Brian makes a great point, the Lightning seem to kind of need to find their way in a series. I think it's almost like Coop needs a game or at least a couple periods to kind of see the matchups and see what's best. And then he can kind of really work his magic as the playoffs go on in terms of matchups.
Yeah.
So he's almost like, if I'm going to lose a game in trying to get a feel for this, I'd rather do it on the road than do it at home. Right. So and usually by game 2, I have a pretty good feel. And they have a pretty good, when they're winning cups, it was like, split the first 2 and then make game 6 your game 7. Close it out. Don't go back and play a game 7. Although they've had really good success on the road in game 7s. So listen, I really don't care where they start, to be honest with you. Now, just from a scheduling standpoint, there is a concert Saturday night. Pela Pava or something. I don't know who the hell that is, but I do know this: he's been moved once and he can be moved again. So
poor guy.
There's a move clause in his contract. So if the NHL wants a game in Saturday night in Tampa, they're going to get it. But so yeah, this is what it is. So the Lightning have to win on Saturday, and then the Canadians play tonight, I believe. Is that correct? Or maybe Thursday? I got to figure that out. So
I'll look.
But so that is still to be determined. And I believe if the Canadians win, I believe they will have home ice. But if the Lightning win and the Canadians lose, I believe the Lightning will. The Lightning have the tiebreaker.
They're at Philly tonight.
Okay, and Philly just clinched. So and they have nothing really to play for tonight. So so we have the tiebreaker over the Canadians, and as the standings sit right now, both teams are at 106.
Yep.
So if both teams win, then the Lightning will have the tiebreaker and we'll have home ice.
And both teams have a good shot. I would call this a win for both teams based on who they're playing in the situation.
Right. The Rangers on the road, they lost to the Panthers last night, 3-2, I believe. They were down 2-0, came back and tied it, and then the Panthers won. So, so the Lightning are 106. The Montreal's at 106. So if they both finish at 108, then the Lightning will have home ice. And then, but if they have home ice, I think they typically want Montreal to be hockey night in Canada. There's going to be 3 games on Saturday, and I think the Stars have already announced that they're doing one of the afternoon games. So what I'm saying is don't write Saturday night off.
Yeah,
because there's an event at the Lightning, event at Benchmark International Arena. They can be moved. They've been moved once, and they can be moved again. So
I don't know who that person is that's playing. I've never heard of him, but maybe there's a little bar over in Ybor City. He can go play it in front of 300 people.
Yeah, I did not recognize the name, but that's that's not unusual for artists that come to. Sure. I see these promotional campaigns all the time. while I'm working, like, oh, the Pava Payless or what else is coming in his merry band of rappers. I don't know who the hell they
It's merry band of rapists.
I'll take the rapist. 500, Alex. That's therapists. You goon. Anyway, sorry.
Nobody gets that reference, but
I know they don't, right? That's what your mother said, Trebek. Anyway. Sorry.
Such a great bit.
Isn't it? Isn't it, though? Oh, my Lord. I got to get my man Paul Wilson in here. We'll do a little Celebrity Jeopardy with Sean Connery. He does a great Sean Connery. Anyway, so bring it on. What's the bet, Les Habitants, man? We got a bet yet?
I don't know. I feel like the national anthem thing has run its course.
Yeah, that's definitely run its course. So let's go with let's come up with something else that doesn't involve your wheel of death that I will not subscribe to.
A wheel of misfortune? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We can put something on the wheel of misfortune.
No. Those things are out of my realm.
We can tone it down. It doesn't have to be our wheel of misfortune. It can be the JP Peterson.
Yeah, you guys are psychos over there. I don't know what the hell it's on that.
It could be something like shaving a Z in the side of your hair and the side of your head.
Oh, yeah. I could do that. That's not a problem.
Yeah, stupid stuff like that. Or just shaving your head.
Well, if you guys out there, any of you Petermans have a bet that is worthy of, beers could be had here.
Or maybe the loser has to cook poutine for the winner.
Poo who? Poo who? What do you put in your poutine? Poo?
Oh, poutine's amazing, man.
Yeah, I know. Right. I love that. That's the French fries and gravy, right?
Cheese curds. Yeah. Americans know how to screw it up, though.
Yeah, that is a prize to be sure. We could, I could have like a little Cigar City IPAs, and you could put up some, I don't know, whatever. What do they brew up in Canada? I used to love drinking those Molsons back in the day.
Dude, Molsons and Labatt. Labatt's my favorite Canadian beer.
But Molson's were nice.
Molson's great too.
They had a good 5 or 6% alcohol. Yep. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
So we could do that. All right. Any of you guys have any observations vis-a-vis the Lightning that we should bring to, here we go from Alejandro. So when do the regular season awards come out, like the Vezina Trophy, which we know Vasi has a lock on for sure? I don't think so. Did Kucherov did enough to win the Hart Trophy since this has been a historic year for him? Well, two excellent questions, Alejandro. Yeah. My first response is I'm over these awards, to be quite sure, because the professional hockey writers are not very professional when it comes to dealing them out.
Yep.
And it's a very Toronto Canadian media biased, and certainly against Russians. So no matter if Kucherov or Vasi does anything that warrants winning these awards, they've got to be almost twice as good to win them. So I don't get too wrapped up in it. I know that Vasi is number one in wins. As of last night, he was 1 in wins, 2nd in goals against, and 3rd in save percentage. That's pretty good. I haven't really, drilled down on exactly who else is in the running and what their numbers are. But he's certainly, from the eye test, especially in the second half of the season, second 2/3 of the season, I think he's been the best goalie in hockey. He's been tremendous. You watch him every night. You are just amazed at what he's able to do. Last night was another perfect example of that. That's a game the Lightning should have lost, giving up 7-8 goals. But he came up big time and time again. So, and then Cooch, he's 5 back. What did let's see what McKinnon did last night. Or I'm sorry, McDavid.
I don't know, but everybody's already given it to
Celebrini.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. I mean, come on.
I don't know.
I know he's young and he's good. So McDavid's at 134. Kucherov is at 130. So I look, McDavid's going to win the scoring trophy. He'll win the Art Ross. Now, will Kucherov win the Hart Trophy? My guess is no. Celebrini is now at 112. I mean, I the numbers that Kucherov put up for that stretch, that you got to go back to mid-90s with Lemieux. I mean, it's just insane. I think he had 75 points in 30 or 26 games. It was something ridiculous like that on that stretch. That really put the Lightning out front and got him into the playoffs. So, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say about Kucherov. I mean, assists, best playmaker in the game. There's so many metrics you could look at. He's just the best. To me, he's the best player in the game. and certainly the most valuable, because without him, the Lightning kind of are a middling team. So I don't know. I know it's silly at times to really add it all up. That the eye test to me, they should win both. But I'm extremely biased, and I admit that. So
it's okay. You're kind of supposed to be. How many?
Ryan Gilbert
many
says, if Montreal loses tonight in Philly, will we sit some guys tomorrow against New York? I would think. We also had a little debate last night whether Vasi plays on Wednesday. He likes to stay sharp, but take a rest, bro. Take a rest. I guess it would be he would play Monday, and then it was probably Sunday, I think, is when we'll start. So it's almost a week between starts. I don't think I don't think you're going to get rusty in that amount of time. But obviously Cooper and Vasi always wants to play, but sometimes he shouldn't. So I'd like to give you an opinion on that. I think at this point in the season, rest is a good thing.
Yeah, it has to be. It's gonna be it's gonna be a long postseason.
Yeah. And he could get freaking injured too. I mean, there's that. And so I don't see the upside, personally.
So JP, real quick, before we go to break and get to more comments, we talked at the beginning of the season. Obviously, there was a name change at the arena from Amalie to Benchmark International, and you discussed that you may have issues remembering the name change in the heat of the on-air moments.
Yeah.
How many times this year did you at least get out the word Amalie before changing mid-sentence to Benchmark on the air?
On my show, probably 4 or 5 times.
In the arena.
But in the arena, no. I've never
zero.
I've never bobbled.
All right.
In that. Yes. And I want to thank my good friend Tyrus O'Neill, the CEO of Benchmark International Arena, for scaring the living hell out of me. Saying,
you were scared straight?
Yeah. He took me aside, and he's about 6'4", the big man. He said, if you ever, and I mean ever, say Amalie again, I will take you up to the Budweiser Brewhouse deck and throw you off.
I mean, that'll do it, right?
No, he didn't say that. He's a very nice man. And they have, may I say, Amalie was just kind of a name on the arena, and they weren't really present. Their people weren't really present. I'm not saying this in a bad way. I mean, thank you for the sponsorship. It's all good. But these guys are freaking hands-on, bro. They are hands-on and literally out there picking up trash. Every charity event that the Lightning are involved in, Benchmark is involved in. These guys have lived here locally. They've built their business here locally. They are just a really integral part of what the Lightning are doing now as naming partners. So they've been a tremendous add to the Lightning portfolio of sponsors, and we've got a lot of great ones. But these guys have really come in and they're there every night. They're coming in Lightning Vision. I love giving them tours and to all the folks they bring in from around the nation and some of their businesses, and they're really fun people. I met about 6 of them last night, and they're all just really, really great guys. One of them was effusive in his praise of my hockey knowledge, and I said, that just goes to prove you can't fool all the people all the time. So, so they're just great people, and I love them, and they've been very good to me, and they're a great addition to this. They've been here in the community, but now they're just front and center and doing so many great things of the charitable kind. It's great to have them, and they're just such a great fit with Vinnick. They just fit right in that community first, fan firsts, all that. It really, when you get down to it, it's really what makes Tampa Bay special in my mind, or the people. We are just still very much, I believe, a blue collar, down to earth city, and we're the 10th largest, 11th largest market in America. We're one of the biggest cities and economies in the world, Hillsborough County. By the way, stop wasting money. And you want to put some money into something you'll actually see and build and won't go out the back door, build a stadium. But I digress.
How do you really feel?
But it's these, it's the Jeffrey Vinnicks of the world. The Glazers have done a great job in the last 10 to 15 years, really really getting involved in the community a lot more than they were in the beginning. And they've done a great job. And this new ownership group really following the Lightning template. I mean, we've had conversations about this, and Ken's like, what? I think he actually said that on the show here. He's like, we don't need to reinvent the wheel here. We just look at what the Lightning have done. $50,000 a game. I mean, they can't do that. They got a lot more games, but they're putting that emphasis into the grassroots community give back. And they know because it works. It works. And, they're getting a bad rap right now, mostly because of the negative TBT media that's coming after them and some of these agenda-driven, quote, agitators that are, trying to sink this deal. A lot of selfish, people doing things for their own benefit, not looking at the benefit of the entire community. There's some of that going on, but they're in the minority and they're going to be outvoted. And we're going to get this thing done. And because it's part of what we do. And these are good people that are doing a good thing. And I think when you really dive into what's going on with this Rays deal, and we'll talk a little bit about this later in the show, it's exactly what Jeffrey Vinik has done. It's not just a hockey team. That was a real estate play for Jeffrey Vinik and a community builder. And he was from the very beginning, I'm going to build this community. I'm going to live in this community. I'm going to thrive in this community. My team's going to thrive. I'm all in with Tampa Bay. And what did he do? He rebuilt the entire skyline of downtown Tampa, won a couple of Stanley Cups, and had an incredibly successful franchise. And the Lightning are following that model. They want to do the same thing over by Raymond James Stadium, do the same thing for West Tampa, revitalize all of West Tampa, and make those properties worth a hell of a lot more money than they are currently. So, yeah, this is the type of stuff that is good for Tampa Bay. And we have a lot of great leaders now that are pushing this agenda. And I love it. And we're going to get it through, and we're going to continue to thrive and be one of the model cities, not only in America, but the world. And I think we're doing a hell of a job. And, Bob Buckhorn sat right next to me here a couple months ago. He just did an interview with the Tampa Bay Business Journal, basically espousing the same things he did in this interview, that he loves the deal with the Rays. It can be an incredible benefit. It's a legacy project for so many people. It's great for Hillsborough College. If you read Ken Atwater's column yesterday, the president and Dr. Atwater very eloquently outlined what an incredible opportunity this is for Hillsborough College. If you're not listening to him, who are you listening to? And you want to talk about the disenfranchised? That's 46,000 students. A lot of minorities that go to Hillsborough College. It's very affordable. They put $1.3 billion back into the economy for the students that stay here and work here. It's a thriving, generating educational opportunity for a lot of Tampa Bay folks that can't afford the big colleges. And now they're going to get a whole new campus and opportunities to work within the Rays organization and all the other organizations that are going to be housed in offices and buildings in that area. What an incredible opportunity for these young kids. And yet there are still people out there like, oh, we got to buy our fire trucks. What about our fire trucks? We can do both. We can do both, kids. And if you invest the CIT money, not all of it, but just a portion of it, if $487 million, you're going to get back 1.5 times. Latest Skanska study, by the way, that the TSA commissioned, independent projections. Now, they are projections. I get that. But they came back and said it'll put back $2.4 billion to the taxpayer by investing $1 billion. To me, that's a really good return. Not only you're doubling, more than doubling your money, but you're also getting to keep your Rays, getting an iconic stadium, getting $55 billion in economic impact, 12,000 permanent jobs, 40,000 construction jobs. I mean, they're putting in 8 to 10 billion. The public's putting in 1 billion. That's a pretty good ratio. And they're bringing you a $2 billion asset in the Rays that countless other cities would love to have. I mean, I don't care how many TBT negative articles you're going to write, but you can't get past the facts that this is great for Tampa Bay. So
there it is.
Stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
Or anywhere else you want to stick it.
What is this? Bucs Skull game. JP, chance they stay in St. Pete.
Okay. How little of a chance is it, though?
Are you out of your flipping mind? I get it. There's a lot of nostalgia this last week. Oh, we're back in the Trop. Woo, it looks brighter. Which is great. It's great. I wish the old owner would have washed the roof, spent some money for a fan experience and brightened the place up. That would have been nice.
Man, that new roof looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
More light coming through it.
By the way, they should have done that 10 years ago, but cheap ass Stu would never spend that much money
more than 10
for a better, for a better fan experience. And oh, by the way, from a safety standpoint and a playability standpoint, like everybody's like, oh, the Hurricanes. Well, yeah, the Hurricanes, that was bad. But had you replaced the roof when you should have, maybe it would have survived that. You ever think about that? Because there was already tears in the roof. It was leaking everywhere. It was 10 years past its shelf life. And the hurricane came, but there was the mistakes were made far before that from the cheap ass owner. So don't ever forget that part. So you fans were denied this nice, bright experience for 10 years because your owner wouldn't put any money into the building. He just wanted to put it all in his pockets. So thank you. I guess we had to get, FEMA to pay for it. And City of St. Pete got stuck with the bill as Stu walks out the door with, $1.7 billion and for a team that he bought for $200 million. Think he'd, throw a little something the city's way to pay for his mistake for not keeping it up? No, of course not. Of course not. But anyway, Nathan's like the ghost of Stu takes over the JP Peterson show.
Already.
He did. He hijacked me. Good God. Sorry about that. Get out of here. But no, it's not staying in St. Pete, for God's fucking sake. I'd like to see people. Why do they need to move? Well, look at this place. It's great. It's freaking 100 years old. It was designed in 1983. The fan pathways in that place and common areas are for midgets. The people who think that the Trop is still a viable Major League Baseball venue have never been to another Major League Baseball venue. It's crazy. Like my boy Nick was always, it's America's ballpark. And then he went to Wrigley Field and Atlanta and some of the other places. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, the Trop sucks. I told you. No, listen, for 3 years, great. We'll do it, and it's quaint and it's quirky and we can call it that now as you get older, right? The dirty old man just becomes the lovable guy, right? Is that how that works? Yeah. It's not a major league stadium. It's not. And we're not going to stay there for any longer than we absolutely have to. We're bigger than that. We're better than that. And we're going to build it in the right area, centrally located. And we're going to build an iconic stadium with a huge mixed-use project around it that's going to create thousands of jobs. That's what we're going to do, because we're going to put our big boy pants on, and we're going to pay for fire trucks at the same time. And we're going to
shortage of fire trucks in Florida. I don't understand this.
I don't know. It just always seems to come up. We need more fire trucks.
I know. Like we can't have a stadium
county's
fire
building,
truck.
like the damn county's burning up or something. Like, is this really a problem?
Like other cities build stadiums, and yet they still have new fire trucks too. Believe it or not, it's a thing.
Oh God. Do I have to? We'll take a break and come back and do this one. Holy shit. Jeez, oh Pete. All right. Thank you guys for joining us on this beautiful Tuesday. We are going to hit all kinds of things here. We're going to got some Bucs talk coming up as well. The Big O is going to join us to talk some Rays. We'll have a Big O show later on today. The Bucs going after a quarterback. Interesting. So we'll talk about all that stuff. And Timmy has some Masters thoughts too that he wants to get out. I'm pretty sure, because he's been debating the Masters. What do we call that? Masters debating.
Masters debating?
Yes, that's what we call it.
I mean, I did that before the show, but I mean, I've debated all I can. I'll try more though.
Thanks to the great folks at Pitch Roofing, because they know how to do roofing right, and they have the best shingles in the business. And they will actually, if you get a free estimate, they're going to give you a special price for listeners of the JP Peterson Show. So when you call them, you get your free evaluation. they will tell you what your discount's going to be. How about that? And they will also educate you all about the roofing business and make sure you do not get ripped off if you choose not to go with them. Because why would you do that? They're bonded, they're insured, they have tons of 5-star reviews. You do not want to go with the lowest bidder when it comes to your roof, because you know what happens? It leaks, and they don't do the job, and they just run off with your money. Don't let that happen. PitchRoofing.com. Back in 3. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch Roofing, roofing done right.
As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch, and everything is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service you get, $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. It's Diamond Days at the Golden Diamond Source. Celebrate April's birthstone, which is diamonds, as they take center stage. Up to 20% off the diamond jewelry throughout the month of April. And don't forget, you could trade in your broken or old jewelry towards something new and beautiful. Gold prices are at a record high. Now is the best time. And by the way, they only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. It's real love. It should be real natural diamonds. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Really, really bad idea. And for the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyers, they are going to teach you all about the 4 C's and all the different shapes and styles. They are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And by the way, you can trust them. They've been in business for over 40 years. Don't buy something online. You have no idea what you're getting. 0% financing for up to 5 years. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at goldendiamond.com. Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000, and all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the Golden Diamond Source. April is Diamond Days. It's the birthstone of April. So why not go get a real diamond for your honey? 20% up to 20% off all diamonds. And, of course, those diamonds never lose their value. You can bring it back to the Golden Diamond Source, and they'll say, hey, what'd you pay? Okay, that's how much you got working towards upgrading your diamond. Or if you want to go get something else, how about that? That's a great deal. And 0% financing, so don't forget about that. And if you have any broken jewelry or just stuff you don't wear anymore and it's gold, there's gold there. Bring it on in. Bring that ill-gotten booty in, and they will give you some money, like cash money, or you can buy some stuff there as well. It's a great place to go to buy shiny things that are beautiful and that your loved ones will absolutely adore. It's the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Ulmerton Road, about 15, 20 minutes from downtown Tampa, and you can always find them at goldendiamond.com.
JP, I had some ill-gotten booty over the weekend. That's for damn sure.
Oh, did you now?
I did.
What was their name?
I can't say her name because the name is all automatically a red flag. Everybody's going to be like, what were you thinking?
Name was, let me think, Buffy.
Her name was Tiffany with an I at the end.
Which,
oddly enough, is the name and the spelling of one of my daughters. I did that, but so she's kind of a red flag too. But yeah, any Tiffany with an I, Jenny with an I, I've dated all of them.
You know what else you got to watch out for? You ever had a Tiffany double E at the end?
No, I've never seen that.
Yeah. Oh, that was something else. Friend told me, honey, not me.
But
anyway.
see, at least my story with my daughter is she's named after somebody. So the spelling is.
Listen,
have I never told you the story of my middle two kids from wife number 2?
Like what kind of story?
Who they're named after? My kids. So I have a son and a daughter from my second marriage.
Right.
One is named Zach.
Okay.
From Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
And 10 months later, he had a little baby sister. I tried to name her Kelly. And again, my wife at the time knew nothing about where these name recommendations were coming from. So I wanted to name her Kelly. She's like, no, I think of that more as a guy name. I'm like, fair enough. What about Tiffany with an I? And she's like, yes, that's adorable. Of course, the actress that played Kelly Kapowski was Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
With an I.
And I tried to make her name Tiffany Amber. And she was like, no, I don't like Amber. I was like, well, got the Tiffany.
Well, I got away with naming my daughter after a stadium.
You did?
Yeah, so.
It's weird that you call her MetLife.
Like, honey, they changed the name of the stadium, so you're now City Field. Sorry.
City Phil Peterson. I wonder if that exists out there somewhere.
So John XUSMC, thank you for your service, says, look at him. He looks like a badass Marine, doesn't he? He looks like
that little fade going above the ear. No, that's badass, man. If I had hair, I'd have my hair cut like John.
Look at that. Anyway, he said, JP, Brody Brazil is calling on the Rays to slow down and stay at the Trop until 2030. Hey, Brody, you West Coaster, you get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of my Bay Area. Stay in your own Bay Area. You've already lost one team. Now get out of here.
Oh.
And the Times is calling for a referendum on the ballpark. I don't recall the TBT calling for a referendum in St. Pete. No, they absolutely did not. Like, there should be some type of investigation into the way the TBT has handled these two stadium situations. Like, come on now. Pointer Institute. You should investigate yourself. Please do. Oh, my God. Listen. The timeline is important for a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of work that has been done in terms of state funding. The state funding for the college has been approved. And if we have to go to 2030, then that process starts all over again with a new governor. And it puts the entire Hillsborough College project behind as well. Listen, Brody.
Love you, Brody, but
here's the thing. As you can tell by social media, I'd say a good 75% of the people of Hillsborough County have no idea what this entire deal looks like. All they know is about the stadium. That's all they know. And that's getting not even half the whole deal. It's about a quarter of the whole deal.
Yeah.
So it's just the misinformation that is out. Of course, the TBT wants a referendum because they've misinformed everybody for however long, and they want to take advantage of their propaganda and agenda that they've put out there. And now the commissioners are smarter than that, and the city council is smarter than that. It's not that they don't trust the voters. They just don't trust something as intricate as this and is involved in this, and for them to actually understand all of it and how it all works. Because clearly the people of this county, at least the ones on social media, don't get it because they fail to do their research. And I think most, this poll that was done did not educate the people at all. They asked a bunch of open-ended questions without very much specificity to that. So it's a garbage poll. And they just said, well, would you support using the sales tax? Well, did they say how much of the sales tax? A half a penny of the No, they said the sales tax. So it's just all the questions that came back, and those poll results are ridiculous because they don't tell the full story. And it was also 500 respondents in a county of 2.4 million. I mean, come on. What are we doing here? So I don't put any stock in that poll at all because of the way it was conducted. And these public workshops that are coming up, I think will hopefully do a really good job of getting the word out there, because at that point the Times has to, and everybody has to cover what people are actually saying. They can't, agenda report and headline crap and all this other stuff. They can't do that. It's all going to get out there. And I think as the public is more educated about the whole deal, the more they will get it. But I still don't think a public referendum, because that would go into November? And now you're pushing back to 2030, and all those issues happen with the funding. So, and here's the deal. The Rays owners have said they're going to pay the cost overruns and the operating costs. So if you approve once you're in for the billion, the public, that's it. You have no more exposure. That's it. If something goes wrong with the roof, so what do you need more time for? To figure out exactly how the roof's going to look, to figure out exactly what all the other buildings are going to look like, to figure out all this other stuff, and to have exactly everything down to a T. That's what you're waiting for. That stuff happens as the project goes along. So as long as the public exposure is limited, what's the problem? If something comes up, the Rays got to pay for it anyway. So let's move ahead. Let's charge ahead. I don't think it's irresponsible at this point. Again, if the Rays aren't, it's not like they can pull a stew and pull out at the middle of this and go, oh, no, it's not going to work for us. They're already in, and so this it has to go forward, and they've got to pay the cost overruns. So I don't see any type of, I don't know what points he brought up. It's like, we're not sure about the roof. We're not sure about this. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. I get that. But the bottom line is most of the framework is done. And it looks good. So I don't prescribe to either one of those things. And they can call for all they want. But the bottom line is the county commissioners and the city council folk need to be educated. And by the way, continue to send in. A lot of you have sent in your emails. I'll put out another blast today with the emails and what you can send them, and we can all do it and do it every day, and call as well. I want you to. Now, Thursday night is going to be a public workshop. I believe, I don't want to speak for O, but he had talked about us both going to that. So we invite you to join us there Thursday.
He talked about that on Friday too.
Yeah. So we'll get a little bit more details on that tomorrow. And we'll have that for you. We'll organize something where if you all want to meet somewhere and go, we'll go. So if you would like to, participate in that, email me, jp@thejppetersonshow.com, and we'll figure out a way where we can all meet somewhere and walk in together and raise holy hell. Tell them how good this deal is. All right. What else we want to get to here? Ice Cube Jones says, F Stu, karma will get him someday. Thankfully, we now have good ownership. Damn right. Damn right. Chandler King, it says Chandler has reposted the stream. Thank you. And y'all do that. Chandler,
Yes,
I'll repost the stream when you can from time to time. That gets us out there. Nothing makes me madder and more happy. What? Contradict. And this conversation I had with a dude last night who said, man, I've been following you for 30 years. I'm like, yeah, you listen to the show? He goes, what show?
Oh, my God. I'd like to think
goes,
that we do a better job
show.
of getting it out there.
No, we don't. We don't, actually. It's like, yeah, we do a show every 2 hours. He goes, you got a show still? I thought you were off the radio. I said, no, it's the digital world. I said, you listen to podcasts? Yeah. He goes, yeah. Follow it. Oh, yeah, I will do it right now. Yeah, and we have a live stream. You can watch us on all over.
Nothing against this dude. I'm sure he's a great dude, but those people that have never heard of your show aren't trying very hard.
I don't know. People are busy. They got jobs. At least these people do. Big jobs.
Because I talk to people here in town that remember me on the radio, and they've been following all of my multiple podcasts, now for 10 years. And then I'll talk to somebody like, man, I used to listen to you on the Ticket, or I've heard you on the Fan, or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, great. You listen to our new show? And he's like, you have a show? Same instance as you. I was like, yeah. Have you ever looked for one? Have you ever gone out and looked for it? No, I don't really listen to podcasts. All right, well, here's how you do it. You just Google my freaking name. That's all you got to do. Google my name. Google me.
Google me. I win.
And he did it right there on his phone. He's like, oh, awesome, man. Yeah, I'm gonna start tuning in. Oh, well, there you go.
Thomas Gasper says Charlie Chris floats the Rays for Buck swap. Charlie swaps a lot. Thomas. You pulled a Rick there.
Yeah.
Did he really say that? Did he really say that? I'll be honest with you. A Bucs stadium in St. Pete makes way more sense than a baseball stadium. 100%. Because football stadiums are only used for the most part on the weekends.
Well, you can plan for that better.
Yeah.
And it's only on Sundays. There's no midweek games,
right,
except for the occasional Thursday night game. But again, you can plan for that ahead of time.
Yeah, it's a one-off during the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Trop never had really big problems. Well, you could have done more, obviously, on the weekends in Tampa, but absolutely, I don't think it would fit downtown. I mean, it might be a little, but it might. But that I wouldn't have a problem with that, to be completely honest with you. If you want to build a new, fantastic dome stadium in downtown St. Petersburg for the Bucs, I got no problem with that.
Nope,
really don't. We'll get everybody will get there. I don't think it's a great idea. I think St. Pete would be much better off to have a convention center and build a lot more restaurants and bars and apartments and condos. They'd just be better, way better for the city.
Look, St. Pete has the IndyCar race. That equals any World Series, Super Bowl, anything. That's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let Tampa have the minor league sports, right? That's not IndyCar, the NFL that nobody watches, the MLB that nobody watches. They can have all of that because you guys have IndyCar once a year, and it's the opening race. That's all you need.
Yeah. Joseph Abreu says, Ken Babby is a great messenger. These workshops will help to clean those misconceptions up. I hope so. But again, when you have an agenda-driven media, and I'm a little disappointed in other media, not wherever our local TV stations. Although I did see today that WUSF, the public station, put out a story on the AECOM economic report that was just put out, that was commissioned by the TSA. I haven't seen a similar story in the TBT, but they did a whole story on it, and it's now I see it popping up in on Facebook and some other places, and that economic study, and I gave you a few of the numbers, shows $2.2 billion back in tax money. I think that's extremely conservative. One of them had it at $6 billion over 30, 35 years. But I'll take 2.2, even at the low end. That's still more than double your money back for the taxpayers, just in taxes, not economic impact, which is up in the fifth. Then the ACOM study put the economic impact over 30 years at $73 billion. $73 billion with a B. Over 9,730 jobs, averaging $85,000 a pop. So, I mean, that's not a good investment. I think it's a pretty good investment. But again, educating the people. And that's an ACOM study by TSA. Nothing to do with the Rays. Oh, the stadium, those stadium surveys are always, when they say, how do they know? Well, how do they know? How do you know that doesn't? All these, J.C. Bradburys of the world who want to, rip stadium deals. And a lot of stadium deals are terrible. The one in Miami was awful. This one is not. This one is way better. So why don't you individually look at each deal, because they are different. You can't just say all stadium deals are bad. Sell more books. Yeah, no, this one's really good. Andre All Day says, I don't hear any or see any negatives about the Rays today. That's good because they're in first place. Go Rays. Rays up. That's right. We got Sugar Shane on the mound tonight against the White Sox. Hope it's not going to be too cold tonight.
It's a win.
I know it should be, but what's the temperature? I'm going to find out. Nathan says Bucs and St. Pete. That would be awesome. Tear down the Trop and put new Buccaneers Stadium there. I would love that short drive over the Skyway, easy off and onto I-275. The tailgating there, epic.
JP, it's going to be in the upper 50s tonight.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very unique idea, but I don't know how Hillsborough County would feel about that. But honestly, if it would get the deal done, I don't have a problem with it. I would rather we have a stadium area. I think it's better to have everything in one area and centrally located. But I don't have a huge, just off the top of my head, I've always said this, baseball would be better in Tampa. And if you want to move football over, that's fine. I mean, there's a lot of football stadiums that are outside town, there's a drive to Kansas City is one of them. There's a lot of them. So, I mean, even where Dallas plays is not Dallas proper.
Nope.
It's over in Arlington. So yeah, it works. It works.
And that's at least, for some Rangers fans, whether you're in Fort Worth or Dallas, that's a 40-minute drive.
Yeah.
We still sell out the damn stadium.
Yeah.
On a random.
It's an all-day thing. I mean, you're going to a Bucs game on a Sunday. It's like you got, you build in time to go there, you build in time to tailgate, then you go to the game, you tailgate after. It's an all-day thing. That's why it's on Sunday. Yeah. Alex Nunn says, y'all sound so dumb. No offense. Y'all bitch about St. Pete issues for Rays. What makes Bucs different? No, leave them in Tampa because it's on the weekends. That's what makes it different. It's not 81 games, dude. It's 8. It's different. We have different situations call for different thought patterns. Again, I think it's better having a stadium complex and everybody in the same place, share parking, share all that. That's efficient to me. Sounds good. Figure out, own one infrastructure for the roads in and out, fix all that stuff. Yeah, that's smart. I mean, but, I really don't think it's worth talking about, to be quite honest. We're not going to, unless somebody wants to come in and pay, $1.5 billion for of their own money into a football stadium, which I don't see that happening.
Right.
But, we'll see. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side, do a little Rays on the field, talk about Sugar Shane tonight and how the Chandler Simpson effect has been phenomenal.
Fun to talk about, too.
I want to get into the Bucs and some Masters thoughts as well. And when anything you guys want to bring to the table, do it. Bring it. We'll answer it right here on the show. We are brought to you by the great folks at Genesis of Tampa. I've been driving my GV70 now. Actually, I was gone for a week, so I missed driving it. I got back in it this morning. I was like, yeah, love this car. It was a 2023, and when I picked it up, man, it was brand spanking new. They just go over those cars. They're pre-owned cars at Genesis of Tampa, and they make them new. Make them brand freaking new. So that's what I'm driving around in, and I absolutely love it. Got a great deal. Could not be more thrilled. And they're making deals over there, Genesis and Tampa, folks. I'm telling you, if you want to get into the luxury car market and see the technology, the pricing, the innovation, the efficiency, the durability, everything, these Genesis cars rated up there at the highest level. And the price is surprisingly affordable. GenesisofTampa.com. Go see their selection and tell them JP sent you. Back in 3. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Just perusing Twitter, and this raised for Bucs trade is a thing. Like, people are actually talking about this. Charlie, Chris, what have you done? Chris Lotful checking in as well. We'll get to that in a minute. I want to thank all of our great sponsors, but specifically the folks at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. They also do AC along with American Standard Heating and Cooling. They are the dynamic duo to get your unit running at peak perfection. You got to have a good unit, folks, and it's got to be working well. And they do that at thirdgenerationplumbing.com because they also do AC. They'll come out with the yearly maintenance special. $169 gets you 2 visits from a very highly qualified HVAC specialist who will comb over your unit with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that all your fluids are topped off and everything is in working order. So do that and avoid the emergency calls. And if you need a new unit, you'll know to go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com and call them over there. Tell them JP sent you.
You got to have an operable unit this summer, JP.
You do?
The unit's got to be working at peak efficiency to make you happy this summer.
Yes. So Florida Politics put out this tweet and a story. Charlie Cliff floats Rays baseball for Buccaneers swap between St. Pete and Tampa, reporting by B.S. Farrington. Yeah, Charlie, I know you want to get back in the public eye, and that sounds like a great way to do it. But Chris Lotvola, Pinellas County Commissioner, said, where does he propose Pinellas and St. Pete find the billions of dollars from to do the old football stadium thing? Because no, that's not going to happen. It's going to be a topic of conversation just because, that's one of those juicy things you could throw out there. Rays, Bucs, St. Pete, Tampa, like, the whole provincialism combat that people love to tap into, which I just don't get. So I don't want to get bogged down with it. I think it's just silly. Go away, Charlie. Time's up. Andre says the Bucs and St. Pete would be nice. Todd Bowles will be right at home in the hood. And dude, come on now. Come on, dog.
That's my cousin you're talking about.
I read that cold. I wouldn't have put that up. That was my bad. Come on now. I thought you were going to say something about the walkthroughs. You could walk down Central Avenue for the walkthroughs. Anyway, let's get to some other stuff, shall we? The Buccaneers are bringing in some quarterbacks. They hosted Kansas quarterback Jalen Daniels.
Is this supposed to be shocking news? I mean, it's really
49. Not. He played 49 games, passed for 9,282 yards and 67 touchdowns. Toasted him for a top 30 visit, according to Rick Stroud. He is athletic, having run the 40 and 4.6. Also passed for 9,200 yards, 62 touchdowns, 31 picks, while rushing for 1,445 yards. But the reason that Daniels may plunge to the third day of the draft or go undrafted is recurring back injury that forced him to miss most of the 2023 season. Yeah, so let's bring in a quarterback with a back injury.
Yeah, perfect for the Bucs, right?
Yeah, this is just looking for depth, And listen, when the Cowboys drafted Dak was it third round or fourth round?
Fourth
round. That's what I thought. They were probably looking for a developmental guy, right?
Well, they were looking for a guy to back up Tony Romo. That was the issue. They wanted somebody to back up Tony Romo, and that's really what he wasn't. I don't remember that draft very well. That was 10 years ago now. I don't remember him being very highly rated. Obviously, going in the fourth round, out of Mississippi State. I remember
probably about 10th or 12th on the quarterback list.
Yeah. And it was just one of those things where, look, we're in the fourth round here. We probably need to find maybe a quarterback. This guy's supposed to be able to run the ball, blah, blah, blah. And so you take him. And you end up hitting on him because Romo literally that offseason gets hurts his back, can't play, and Dak wins, 12 games.
Yeah, well, you look, the future of the Saints now is Tyler Shough, who they took in the 7th round? Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant.
Who was not thought of very highly in the draft either.
Yeah, and when I watch him play, I was like, wow. Especially against the Bucs, he looked great. Not hard to do, but yeah. I don't know. I mean, what I saw, I liked. I think he's accurate. He's got a big arm. He can run. He was impressive. And that guy went in the 7th round. So I think the Bucs should definitely be looking at developmental quarterbacks. I don't know if this is the guy. I haven't really studied his tape, but I think they should definitely be looking at a day 3 quarterback. I'd have no problem with that at all.
JP, what was the thoughts locally? I mean, I remember from a national standpoint, but when Kyle Trask came out of Florida,
Yeah.
what was the local narrative on him? Like, was there excitement around him from an NFL level? Because there wasn't really nationally.
I think Trask was, I think my take on him was, he could be good in this Bruce Arians system.
Right.
He was kind of thought of having a big arm, although when I saw him in camp, I would say good arm. I wouldn't say big arm. I mean, Baker definitely had a much better arm than him. You just see that, that's one of the great things going after training camp. You see Baker, throw a 20-yard stick and, it kind of, it's on the line.
Right.
And then Trask is just a little bit more arc. Just a little bit, but it's different. It's just different. You can say, oh yeah, and that guy's much stronger arm. So I'd say Trask, but his reputation was, he threw, like, his numbers in the SEC were gaudy. Gaudy. They were big. And, big kid, like, you kind of, maybe but not super athletic at all. Like, I wouldn't even call him a Roethlisberger type, because Roethlisberger was more athletic and could move around and make plays. Kyle was really a kind of a pocket passer, but you thought maybe in the Arians system that liked to throw the ball downfield, he could be good. But it was a surprise pick, but you had Brady and you're like, oh, this is a guy that's kind of Brady's size. Maybe Brady can kind of bring him along. Brady had no interest in mentoring anybody.
No, you know what? Nor does Baker
Brady's about
Mayfield
Brady.
right now, to be honest with you.
What's that?
Neither does Baker Mayfield at this point. And I don't blame him.
Yeah,
Baker's not that guy. He's not a groomer. He's not a mentor.
Perhaps
he's not going to come in and he's not doesn't manscape either, from what I hear.
I don't. Wow. Okay. I don't know about that. He's a team guy.
That's different. You be a team guy.
Well, has he been put in that situation? With Trask is already here for 4 years. That's not like bringing in a rookie developmental guy.
No, I don't think he's ever been.
He kind of battled. There was a quarterback battle, quote, with Trask. So that's not typically a mentoring situation. Now you draft a guy like Jalen Daniel, does he mentor a rookie who's taken in the 6th round? Sure, he would. I don't. You bring in somebody that is threatening his job. Like, is he going to mentor Jake Browning? No. Would he mentor a 7th rounder? Yeah, I think he would.
Every quarterback that comes into the room is threatening his job.
No.
Yeah, that's how he's going to look at it. That's how he should look at it.
I disagree.
And if I'm Baker, I'm not going to, I'm going to help. I'm not going to ignore the guy, but I'm not going to sit here and tutor him and mentor him to take my job next year.
I think Baker's more confident than that. Again, if it's a 1st rounder, that they take, pick a guy. There's nobody that they would take in this draft. If they took Ty Simpson, would he, with the 15th overall pick, would Baker mentor him? Maybe not. I think that would be that his competitive juices would be like, no, this is my job.
Right.
I think that's a different situation. Now but again, you draft a 7th rounder, 6th rounder. I think he would, take him under his wing. I do. That's just my feeling. I don't know. I think I know Baker pretty well. We're not buddies. We don't hang out at the Anchor Bar, drink beers.
You clearly don't have a grip on his grooming.
5 years ago I would have, but I know. What's that?
You clearly don't have a grip on his grooming habits, so y'all aren't that close.
No, we're not. Thank God. But I do have a new friend, a new famous friend.
Oh, who did you meet at the Masters?
No, wasn't there.
Oh,
it's Tyler White from Love on the Spectrum.
Okay.
You don't know Love on the Spectrum? You don't know Ty White?
Never heard of it. Yeah. What is Love on the Spectrum? Is that a new TV show? Well,
it's been out for about 4 or 5 years. It's autistic people finding love. It is a great show. Ashley and I watch it all the time. It is fantastic.
JP, I almost spit my coffee out. Just
listen. The first episode you watch, you'll do that. You'll be like, you'll be like, are they making fun of these people?
Right.
This is weird.
That's my first thought. Like, how is this okay?
But they do it in a very wonderful way. They do it in a very, very wonderful way. The producer does all the interviews and kind of, befriends them, and they just follow them around on their dates. And they just, because autistic people, first of all, there's a lot of them now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And, they're grown adults, and they grow into, these very sweet, sweet people that just emotionally have not grown up, and they're all at different levels, obviously. And they're just the nice, they're the most wonderful people in the world, because they're not jaded like the rest of us.
Yeah.
They just have an innocence about them that is just wonderful and beautiful and funny and awesome. And you watch their heartbreaks and their, and their awkward moments. And these dates are just so awkward at first. And then they get to know each other. And
I could never watch that.
Oh, you would. I probably would not, unless Ashley got me into it. And so Tyler lives in Plant City, and he's a country boy, and he loves country music, and he's cutting his own single in Nashville with Blake Shelton is working on there. All these big stars are working on it on his album and his single. And he is this young lady, Madison, who lived in Westchase, I believe, in Tampa. They got together, and she is just the sweetest thing in the world. She's so cute and wonderful. And they get together, and you watch the whole thing, love bloom. And they just got engaged, and it's fantastic. So anyway, Tyler was at the Lightning game last night singing the national anthem, because he's done that for the Bucs. He's done it for the Lightning. He's done it for the Rays. This was the last of its big three that he wanted to do. So I invited him up to do a little bit with us on, it was neurodiversity night, by the way, at the Lightning. So we had,
that's a word I've never heard before in my life.
Neurodiversity?
Never heard that before.
Autistic spectrum.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, it makes sense. I've just never heard that word.
Yeah. So they, we did all those things last night, and brought Tyler up to Lightning Vision. And we did a little bit, and he's just the greatest. Cool. Yeah. He's just the great. He loves it. He's a hugger. So
sure.
After the segment, he just gave me a big hug on the Jumbotron. He's just great. I love him. And so he was there last night. He's my new best friend, Ty Y. See, Ashley knows Ty Y. Ty Y is so great. Yeah. He's actually an amazing DJ. He's a really good DJ.
Oh, wow.
DJ Ty Y. You can hire him.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So it's really cool last night. I love doing that, because I've been watching that show for 2 or 3 years. They're like our favorite couples. We got to hang out with them at the Rascal Flatts concert a couple months ago. So yeah, it's been fun to get to know those folks at Love on the Spectrum. Check it out. Just go watch one episode and tell me what you think.
I don't think I have that here.
I don't even know what.
It's a local show, right?
No, it's on Netflix, you jerk. It's a worldwide sensation. It's a worldwide sensation. Like Chris Cole says, I love that show.
You know what? Yeah. What is it? Walking Dead was a worldwide sensation. I've never seen one freaking episode of that. Game of Thrones, never seen it.
Oh, awesome.
I'm not going to. I have zero interest in any of that garbage.
Okay, all right.
But this I would give a minute to if I
you'll like it. I think it'll surprise you. Especially with your dating experiences. I think you could probably pick up a few pointers from Ty White, to be honest with you.
Are you calling me autistic?
No, I think some of your strategies aren't even that smart. But
I mean, what strategies? Supposed to have strategies?
Your Applebee's round table, that one, for instance.
No, y'all made up the Applebee's round table. All right, I don't take multiple girls, and it's never on the first date. Y'all got all that wrong. That's like a third or fourth date plays. That's when I'm ready to seal the deal. With Applebee's.
Fitzy says, best show ever, no filter. That's right, Fitzy. There's no filter here.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Come on, man. These are my people. Come on.
Can't get this anywhere else, I'm telling you.
John Hill says, here's a suggestion for the hockey bet between JP and Timmy. If the Habs win, JP goes bowling with TH. If the Bolts win, TH carries JP bag for one round of golf at Palmacino. Oh, you get a loop with me. Well, first of all, that's physically impossible, even on a flat course, for Timmy to loop for me, because he can't walk up the stairs.
Can't use a push cart.
He'll have to drive the cart, and so that won't be fun.
I'll do that.
So if I go bowling with Timmy, what do I?
How is that a punishment? That's a treat.
Do I have to shine up his ball?
Hey,
What do I
now,
mean,
whoa.
what do I have to do? I ain't doing that.
You don't have the equipment that I prefer. just saying.
Talking about the bowling ball.
So much.
No filter on this one. Bantry says Trask was a local kid who was drafted hoping to put butts in the seats with the Gators. I don't know about that. I don't think that's a thing, bro.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't waste a draft pick on something like that.
I don't think they draft players to sell tickets anymore. I think that was like
they might trade for players to sell tickets.
60s or 70s.
Yeah, you're not going to draft somebody.
Ice Cube Jones says Trask was 50-50. People hated the pick and some loved it. Yeah, I was like, you gotta develop a quarterback for after Brady. His numbers were good in the SEC. You just never know with quarterbacks. I think it's the hardest position to really project in the NFL. Was I thrilled about it? I was like, they need to groom a guy, and having Brady groom him would be great. But little did I know that he was not interested in that. And
I think quarterbacks and offensive linemen might be the hardest to predict. Because, man, to me, offensive linemen are the hardest too.
No, I think offensive line's easy, to be honest with you.
Man, not me.
You need
to teach me your trick then, because
if you watched any tape of Tristan Wirfs, he was a can't miss.
Okay, well, he's an anomaly though. He's not your normal offensive.
No, but how many first overall picks in quarterbacks are busts?
A bunch of them.
I think it's rare for a top 15, top 20 tackle to be a bust. May not be a Pro Bowler. May not be a Pro Bowler. There are examples, obviously, but I think if you're talking about hit rates on offensive tackles in the first 15 as opposed to quarterbacks, I think you'll find many more quarterback busts than offensive tackles.
Well, if you draft an offensive lineman in the top 15 of the NFL draft of any year and he never makes a Pro Bowl, that's a bust.
That's not a bust. It's not. I think it's a bust. A bust is a guy that's out of the league in 2 years. That's a bust.
Sanders made the Pro Bowl. All right. Well, anybody makes the Pro Bowl.
Well, we're not talking about that. He didn't make the Pro Bowl as a starter.
He didn't.
This is a big difference.
Stupid Pro Bowl. You gotta get rid of that.
It's dumb. He's dumb.
I'd rather watch all the NFL players compete in the challenge of the battle of the network stars type competition again, like they used to. Let's do that. Let's do that. Had Joyce DeWitt come out there in those short 70s shorts.
Adrian Barbeau
from Maud.
Farrah Fawcett did it 1 year too. Whoa.
God.
Wow.
Man, all those stars make so much money now. They would never do that.
They wouldn't. No, they wouldn't.
Because those back then, you got to remember,
they wouldn't expose themselves like that.
No, because those actors and actresses were at the mercy of the network because of their contract. They literally had to do anything they told them to do. It's not the case anymore.
Andre, I remember this. I remember this. He says Tristan Wirfs jumped out of a pool and landed on his feet.
Impressive. We showed that video on this show.
At first, when I saw that, after they drafted him, I was like, holy hell.
I was like, this has to be doctored.
I know. It's the first thing. Oh, that's AI. No way. You can't do that. Yeah. That was freaking
God, that was freaking amazing. I could barely get out of a pool on a ladder.
I don't know. I still to this day don't know. I know.
Jeez.
Chris Cole says Walking Dead is a great show, and I didn't expect to like it so much until I watched it.
I just don't care about zombies or whatever they are. Is that what they are? Zombies?
Yeah.
Zombies are freaking everywhere. I'm tired.
Yeah, I don't get that either. I never got into that. Yeah.
I've never seen World War Z. I've never if there's a zombie in it, and unless it's the Scooby-Doo episode, I'm probably out.
Yeah, this has never been a thing for me. Yeah. Bantry says you want to draft edge or inside linebacker. Name one player Foot or Caldwell has developed. Yeah. Listen, I'm not saying that development is something that should happen at the NHL. Maybe let me put this in a different light. I would like to see the Bucs players get better when they get here. Sure. Now, the NFL is not necessarily a development league.
Right.
You're supposed to be pretty much a finished product by the time you get here for the most part. But yeah, there are players that are taken that need to develop. And I think some positions take longer than others to get really good at. But just in general, you don't want to see guys, get worse. And you tend to see that here. Like Jamel Dean never got any better. Argue he got worse. Zion McCollum is just not developed the way you wanted him to. Defensive backs, hell, you look at some. I mean, I'm trying to think of a defensive back that got better when they got here. I mean, even Antoine Winfield, his best days were his rookie year and his second, third year, and then since the contract, he's totally regressed. So I mean, I can't. Offensive linemen under the new regime have done really well. Cody Mauch developed really well.
Are we happy with Graham Barton? I think you're happier than I am with Graham Barton right now.
Yeah, I am. I think Graham Barton's going to be fine. I mean, I've talked to some people in the league about, when we talk about how guys have developed, and everybody looks at his second season as, well, okay, well, first you moved him to tackle, for God's sakes, and then moved him back to center, and then he's playing with two guards who are not NFL caliber, and teams are just absolutely feasting on that, those two guards, and he was trying to have to make up for those guys, and it was just a disaster from the interior standpoint. He did, I think he didn't grade out well last year because he was trying to make up do the best he could. He was good, but in his second year as a center, being bounced around, and that wasn't his natural. He played mostly in college at left tackle, then moved to center. His first year, he played great. With Bredesen and Mauch beside him, he played fantastic. He was great. Suddenly, he horribly regressed, or was it the two guys next to him?
Yeah,
and him moving around? I'd say it was the latter. So I think this year, if they all stay healthy, they could be the best offensive line in football, and that means something. If you have the best offensive line in the NFL, you should make the playoffs. It makes your running game better. It makes your passing game better. It can help your defense by making your running game better. It makes your entire team better. Makes Baker better. Keeps him healthy. Gives him more opportunities to attack. So yeah, if they could stay healthy along the offensive line, they should win the division. But the big wild card is the defense. You still have the same coordinator. You still have mostly the same guys. The guys you brought in are not big difference makers. You could argue Anzalone's an upgrade. For his age, let's see what he's got left in the tank. Love the player. 5 years ago, would have killed to have him on this team. But I don't know what he's got left in the tank. 9 years in, a physical guy playing a physical position, you just don't know. But, inside linebackers have played effectively into their later 30s. So it could happen. We'll see. But, is he better than Levante David was 2 years ago? No, not. So I don't see this as a huge upgrade. Muhammad, it's not a huge upgrade over until I see it. He's just another aging rotational guy. Yeah, they didn't bring in anybody that's young and dynamic and has upside. It's just different players, older players, rotational guys. Just guys, they're backups or rotational guys. No big impact players defensively, in my opinion. So, and your defense was awful. All right, let's take one more break. When we come back, Big O will join us, and we'll get to talking about the Rays on the field, and whatever else you guys want to bring to the table. Hey, we are brought to you by the great folks at Cafe Paradiso. My good friend Paulo over there runs the best Italian restaurant in all of Tampa Bay. It's number 3 on the open table list, but I think it's number 1.
Definitely
Have you tried
number
their
1.
lasagna? Have you tried their lasagna? The Paranzino? Oh, it's absolutely fantastic.
I didn't tell you I got into a Twitter fight with the dude about Cafe Paradiso.
Get out.
A few weeks ago. Yeah, he put out a list of the top restaurants in Tampa, and he didn't have it on there, and I replied to him. I said, dude, you've lost all credibility without Cafe Paradiso on there. And he replied, he's like, well, it's really good, but it wasn't in my top 5. I said, I don't know about your top 5, but you, sir, suck.
That's not nice.
I don't care.
That's not nice.
I didn't even know who he was.
Yeah, that's all right. Still not nice. But go to Cafe Paradiso because it doesn't suck. It's fantastic.
Oh, it's good.
Tell him JP sent you. Back in 3. Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000. And all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you. As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. It's Diamond Days at the Golden Diamond Source. Celebrate April's birthstone, which is diamonds, as they take center stage. Up to 20% off the diamond jewelry throughout the month of April. And don't forget, you could trade in your broken or old jewelry towards something new and beautiful. Gold prices are at a record high. Now is the best time. And by the way, they only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. It's real love. It should be real natural diamonds. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Really, really bad idea. And for the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyers, they are going to teach you all about the 4 C's and all the different shapes and styles. They are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And by the way, you can trust them. They've been in business for over 40 years. Don't buy something online. You have no idea what you're getting. 0% financing for up to 5 years. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at goldendiamond.com. Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch roofing, roofing done right.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Hello, hello. Big O's getting settled in here while I tell you guys all about the great folks at the what haven't we done yet today? We did most of them, I think.
Kingmakers?
And Kingmakers and Riveters. Kingmakers Tampa is where we're coming from right now. This beautiful production studio could be yours. We have a private office suites for you. We have a shared office suites for you. We have a sports bar. It's like a big old man cave here where you live, work, and play. Well, you can't live here, although I do kind of feel like I live here a lot of time. But
try.
You can do a lot here. That's for damn sure. Become a member, kingmakerstampa.com. And Riveters, place was packed this weekend for Rays Yankees, giving away all that Rays swag. For all your Rays games, go watch a Riveters. They're doing $6 Tito's, and you get the big pour, folks. You get the big pour, not the chintzy pour. You get the real sports bar pour from the ladies at Riveters. You get $6 Tito's, $6 Margs, $6 Jack. Get some Jack up in you. And if you go 3 to 7, you get all the great happy hour prices, $3 domestics, $5 wells, all that good stuff at Rivers. And they give away Rays swag each and every game. So that is your Rays watch party place. There's always folks watching the Rays games there. So they'll be watching tonight against the White Sox.
Wow, we got a winner.
Oh, there you go. All right, speaking of winners, my man, Orestes Destrada joining the show. What's up, brother?
I think I did it better than you, by the way.
No, you
Yeah,
didn't.
he did. He did.
Get out of here with that.
Orestes Destrade.
Fake news. That's fake news.
No, it's not. He was on point. I'm always like just incredible. But you did create it, so I must say you just look happy. You feel refreshed.
Can't fool all the people all the time.
You had a great week.
I did
You
until
won.
last night. But
So let's leave
Don't ask, Big O. Don't
I'm
ask.
not gonna ask. Don't ask. Don't tell. But
Let's
the
just keep
bottom
going with the
line
positive
is that
vibe,
you
bro.
had the
Let's go.
positive
Yeah.
vibe. You had
3
Colorado
days of skiing. Okay.
with your homies.
Yeah, with my boys. Now we didn't. It wasn't great skiing, but
No, because the
back was a little tight. But
back was a little tight.
But
and there wasn't
we
as
got
much
out there.
snow as you wanted.
No. Just 43 years we've been going to Breckenridge, and we have
Wow.
a condo right there on the 4 o'clock run, which you ski like literally right into the living room.
Nice.
It's so nice. First year ever, we couldn't ski in and ski out. No snow.
You had to get up there.
You had to go up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But enjoyable. And then
the Masters.
you went into that picture of you at the Masters.
That's
man.
pretty cool, huh?
Oh
That
my
was
god.
badass.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's
That was badass.
that's another Fred Ridley special that he came up with. So there's no, he's had to kind of navigate the modern world and was still keeping the Masters as unique and special.
Sure.
It's a very fine line to do.
Right.
And obviously, they're the only tournament that does not allow cell phones.
Right.
So you got to leave your phones in your car. So none of that nonsense. Everybody's into it. Everybody's there.
Yeah.
But of course, everybody wants a picture.
No doubt.
So what they did was they set up 4 spots, 4 camera folks right in front of the
Beautiful
clubhouse.
background. Yeah.
And they put you in a line and you think, oh, it's going to take forever. It doesn't. It took like 15 minutes.
Boom.
And they move you up there. Boom, boom, boom. They give you a card, print it
The
out.
picture was just
Yeah. And
was
so everybody gets a picture at Augusta.
great idea.
Yeah,
you get to see
fantastic.
Mark Calcavecchia get kicked out. Were you there for that?
No, I didn't. But by the way, just to finish that thought, all free. They
Right.
could charge whatever the hell they want for that picture, and everybody
$100.
would pay it.
Yeah.
Everybody would pay it,
Sure.
but they don't.
Yeah.
I don't think they need the money.
No, they don't. But in this day and age,
No, I get
in this day and age,
that's a markup.
if you can make it, you take it, right?
That's an upsell.
But,
galore.
Yeah, big time. But they, that's why,
It's an experience, isn't it?
oh, it's a tradition unlike any other.
Right.
Just to be there, no corporate markings anywhere.
Isn't that weird?
It's
I think
fantastic.
it's great. So
I mean, I
refreshing.
think if I was starting like a new venture, everybody's trying to get the new sporting event that's awesome
just
and
the new
fantastic.
angle and the new deal.
And it would be hard to do because, of course, sponsors want everything. But I think if you just kind of leaned into no phones, uniqueness, no corporatization, I think there is a spot for that. People love that shit.
Right.
because
Love
the other way is such a norm now. Like everyone
Right.
does it. We are inundated with all that crap everywhere else. And when you don't have it, especially on such a big stage,
Yeah.
it's just refreshing. Man.
I think there's actually some acts out there now, concerts you go to that they ban phones.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Artists have been
Take your
doing
phone.
that for a
Yeah.
while. Yeah.
Yeah,
Have
I think
they?
that's I think that's
Didn't
fantastic.
know that. So it's about the event then.
Stay in the moment.
Yeah.
And you find,
Enjoy
I
the
thought
event.
like the first 20 minutes, you're like, your thigh is vibrating.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like you're missing an arm or
Yeah,
something.
but you like, on my phone. Like, no,
mystery
you don't have your
feeling.
phone. Yeah. And so, and
Maybe
then after a while, it's just like,
I went
it's fantastic.
I went to a concert here in Dallas. It was the Robert Plant concert here at a place called the Bomb Factory. Down in Bellevue.
Robert Plant.
And I've seen him like 11 times. It's an amazing show. He's 108 years old and he's still great.
Right.
But when you go in at the door, if you're patted down, if you have a phone or the women have it in their purse, they'll let you keep it, but they put it in this pouch that you can put around your neck. And it's a tight pouch, but it covers the back. There's no camera access, and it is locked. Like you cannot open it while you're there. And then when you leave, they unclip it and they take the pouch back. And you're like, you can have your phone if you need to text people or whatever, but there will be no cameras, no videos. We need you to pay attention to the show.
Yeah, it's about the show. Enjoy the show.
It was so freeing and wonderful, and all that. But I think they do just a really great job in keeping the traditions.
Let me ask you:
alive.
You've been to great Orange Bowl,
every major event, except
right, but
for
I'm saying back before this.
Oh yeah,
and then it's like etched in your mind.
Yeah,
right. Like different plays and
that's
the excitement of the
crowd. That's an interesting concept because it's just like anything else. If you have to remember it. If you have to I don't have anything to write, you'll use a mnemonic device or something in your brain and you'll remember it and it'll be like,
yeah.
And I have this kind of a videographic memory,
right?
Traumatic events or great events in my life. I can literally close my eyes and recall them like I'm watching in front of me. But when you have your phone, you kind of, I'll just do this.
Yeah,
so you don't imprint it.
You cheat.
I'll always have it. So I'm not imprinting it, focusing like I have to remember.
While you're watching.
But I found myself at times, like there was a moment on Saturday where Rory had just birdied 15 and he was going to 16.
Mm-hmm.
And he was playing with Cam Young. And it's just we were sitting up we got up in the stands in front of the 15, and then you can kind of, if you go to the end of the bleachers, you can look into 16. And I was just like sitting there taking it all in, like it's just the crowd is all up on the natural amphitheater, the 16th, and at the 15th as well. I'm just looking like there's Roy, there's Cam, there's it's just all that Scheffler was going through, all the big names, and I'm just like taking it all in. I'm like, this is, I just turned to the television and I said, dude, this is fucking awesome.
Right.
This is just fucking awesome. I'm at the freaking mass. The weather is just like perfect.
Right.
The scenery is just like everything you imagine. You've seen it on TV, and I've been there before, but I was just renewing it. And I was just like, man, this is just, it's been a while since I love to just kind of just sit there and just soak in the moment.
Right.
And that was just one of those great moments. And then we watched Cam hit up there and make birdie. And it's cool. I freaking love it.
Yeah. That's human nature of true and experiencing things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't discount how fortunate you were with the weather too, because it's not always like that in Augusta this time of year.
I know. Right. Yeah. It was a tremendous experience. But anyway, let's talk some baseball.
No, dude. Obviously, the Rays series against the Yankees was phenomenal, but I'm just going to go like just immediate. Last night was the weirdest baseball night.
I was working the Lightning game, so I did not pay a stitch of attention to anything in baseball.
36 homers were hit in 10 games. 9 guys hit 2 homers apiece.
I saw Judge and
Trout.
Yeah.
And Grisham.
Yeah.
9 different guys in 10 games. In the modern area, I believe was 10. And that was September 10th, 2019, where 10 different guys hit 2 homers apiece.
Right.
And then 9 happened again, before in the 24th, July 14th. So I looked up and I go, timeout. But those days were not Mondays. Mondays are a short day. So you only had 10 games last night. Those other 2 dates, full schedule. It was a Tuesday and a Sunday. So you had 15 games each.
Yeah.
This was unbelievable that you had 9 guys hit 18 home runs.
What does it mean?
I don't know what it means because I've been noticing the first 2 weeks of the season, unlike last year, there was a shitload of home runs hit right off the gate. So I was like, you know what? Doesn't feel like there's as many home runs hit this year so far in the first 2 weeks. All of a sudden,
we're watching the Rays.
No, but it's all right. I'm just saying in generalities. I think MLB said we're not hitting enough home runs. Let's use they juiced the ball. Let's use the other ball. Let's use. Hamon, what do you think about that?
I hate this. I hate this theory.
Put the other balls into the game.
Look, I hate that as much as the next guy, but I can't discount it. I cannot.
I'm being facetious.
I know, but
can you discount it?
I can't discount it, man. Major League Baseball. It's,
Bro, that was dramatic. I'm watching the highlights of those 10 games, and it's like boom, 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 boom. But just a crazy.
Look, and I'll tell you another anomaly that I've noticed, Big O, and maybe you can explain this because I can't. If you look at the American League, there are no teams more than 3 games over 500.
Yeah.
And there are a multitude of teams that are just 2 games.
Yeah,
you're obviously
you're right
the Guardians and the Twins are 10-7, best record in the league. Then you've got the Orioles, the Yankees, and the Rangers at 9-7, and that's it. And then over in the National League, obviously you have the Dodgers at 12-4, but even then, there's nobody else more than 3 games. The Pirates are 10-6, and the Padres are 10-6.
Right.
Everybody else is like 1 game over 500.
The Padres.
And we're 2 weeks
No, it's
in.
been it's a very strange American League 15 teams. It really is. Nobody at all is running away with it. Unlike when you look at the Dodgers, it's really exciting to see Pittsburgh playing the way they're playing. Oh, by the way, Brandon,
6 home runs.
Wow, 6 home runs. Atlanta's been surprising. Miami's been surprising, in the first 15, 17 games. I agree with you. Very, very strange. It does lend to parity in the game, which is a delicate subject because if you're going into parity, guys, and you're going into a CBA, what is going on here? You know what I mean? Because you're talking about the disparity of the have and the have-nots, which is glaringly obvious. I saw somewhere where the Dodgers TV revenues is somewhere in the $330 million.
Yeah.
And the Milwaukee Brewers are like at around 27 million.
Lord.
So the Dodgers make $300 million more in just their TV rights and coverage. So the parity there is glaring, right? Of the have and the have-nots, but not on the field. So it's an interesting topic. But as far as our Rays,
they're 26th in home runs with 12.
Right.
They're 14th in runs.
Middle of the pack,
with 70. That's good.
Yeah.
I think they're leading the league in hits, if I'm not mistaken.
They got to be in top.
Yeah, they're
3.
7th now in hits at 137.
But that's
good.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're putting bat to ball.
Mm-hmm.
They're running. They're scoring. They're
27th in doubles. So extra base hits are not their thing.
No. So far, I mean, they're singles.
They're 3rd in triples. That's Chandler Simpson.
That Chandler Simpson with a couple.
Cedric has one.
Mullins has one. I mean, that's the hardest, the most difficult hit in the game of baseball. People forget triples are more hard to hit than a homer. So especially in this day and age with the aforementioned baseball being the way it could, potentially be at times. But I just think that they're a fun team to watch. It's interesting that they're bringing back, the bunting and
oh my Lord,
and small ball.
Man on third, less than 2 outs bunts. I
love it.
Taylor Walls,
Chandler
Simpson.
Taylor Walls more than anybody, to be honest with you, because he just was never asked to bunt. And
did you see that one this weekend? I forget which one it was, but he's getting ready to bunt, and they throw him a curveball in, and it's heading right for his junk.
Yeah,
and he put the bat over.
That was the
self-preservation.
That was the one to Bednar.
That was not going to end well.
That was a safety squeeze, and they've been.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was a safety
squeeze.
Yeah, bunt it?
Famous cojones.
Or Mama's like, well, I guess we're not doing
That's the
anything.
definition of a safety
Better be
squeeze right
going
there.
on a road trip because you're out of
You
commission.
need some ice over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I love seeing that. And then listen, let's just key on who's been the MVP so far in the first 15 games, and that is the kid that we've been talking about since spring training, and that's Chandler Simpson, and
7th in the league with a 441 on base percentage.
leading the league in hitting with 411.
Pajes has just overtaken him at 417.
Well, but I'm talking about leading the American League.
Yeah.
Leading the American League. Leading in so many in our top 5, top 10 in so many categories that are important. He's stolen 7 bases. Bobby Witt's got 8. He's only been caught a couple of times. Oh, by the way, he only has 3 strikeouts. So
that's the crazy
so
thing.
he's putting bat to ball. And I don't care that his spray chart shows a lot of infield hits. Who cares?
I don't actually that's
kidding
good.
me? Yeah.
That's good.
That's great.
It's going to bring the infield in. It'll give even more hits.
Yeah, no, he just challenges your defense. You can have hitters like a Caminero that you're nervous because he might loft one, right? This guy just scares you that all 9 defenders have to be aware if he's going to bunt, if he hits a gapper, I got to throw the cutoff. Everything's got to be perfect. If you don't do a cutoff perfectly, he's on third.
We can name so many instances where his speed has affected the play. Look at the end of the game with the Yankees game the other night. Chandler's on third. Aranda hits a chopper to Jazz. Now he can do a lot of different things there. He can get the double play, tag him out.
I mean, the quality play there would have been catch it, try to get a double play. It was Aranda. You can do a double play on him.
Exactly.
You know.
But what did he do? He bobbled the ball because he saw Chandler Simpson coming down.
Well, his mistake, 2 glaring mistakes, and one, he even said it after the game. I was unsure what I wanted to do with that. How can you be unsure? What kind of major league second?
Then he was
baseman?
asking, like, could I have tagged him and thrown it to first?
Well, that's what he looked like he was trying to do.
Yeah.
That's why he dropped it. He came after it and he was trying to catch it, tag, throw it to first. And then he went ahead and threw it to first, which is the play was done. The moment that he bobbles it, the play's over. You're not getting a double play, so the game's over.
Yeah.
There's no need to throw it to first. But regardless, he just adds so much dimension to the fear factor. And again, going back to our comment from spring training, like, hey, man, we need Chandler to be leading off. The beauty right now is that you have Caminero hitting second. I really love it. And
gives you double protection.
You gives him protection, right? You've got double protection behind him, right? You have Aranda and you have, so he's going to get some pitches now. And the reason that works, and I'm glad that Statty Seth in the 52.
We took 3 weeks to figure it out.
A while to figure it out. To move Yandy to the 4-hole. Why does that make sense? Because Yandy doesn't need protection. Yandy is too good a hitter that he will take his walks.
Yeah.
Yandy can hit with 2 strikes. Yandy hits lefties and righties. He'll put the ball in play. He'll hit behind the runner, but he'll also pop you if you miss with a breaking pitch in. So it doesn't matter. It could be, Hamon hitting 5th, and that's a stretch, but he could be hitting 5th. And Yandy stretch. double nickel hitting 5th. But no, the reality is that's I hope that 4-pack doesn't change. It shouldn't. There should not be a pitcher in the major leagues that should go. They go into a game and it's so and so, and they go, "We got to shake that force."
Listen, but this is what I'm just, and I'm not going to let it go for quite some time. I'm just not. How can you have an organization that has 52 analytics people, and you can't figure out that the fastest man in baseball, who hit 300 last year against righties and lefties, steals bases, is not the number 1 leadoff guy? Like what? And he has a great spring training,
right?
Showing more bat to ball skills.
Added the bunt.
I mean, it's the most obvious thing in the world.
Yeah.
And putting Caminero in a position where he doesn't have protection is the most obvious. That's the stupidest thing in the world. And we did it for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
A Major League Baseball team. That shows me that something is drastically wrong with how you're doing things from a strategic lineup way. You have no, like, I'm not saying it's something. You have no effing clue what you're doing. Like, none. And I know they're smarter than that. Why did it take 2.5 weeks to figure this out?
I'm going to tell you the only thing that makes logical sense to me. I don't believe that they were going on a metrics thing at that point. There is no metrics logic to that, right? You put that guy in.
There's no any logic to it.
I will tell you there might be a sliver of one. And Hamon and I talked about this on Tuesday, on Friday. And that is that maybe they were just wanting to have him ease into the season and not start the season as the leadoff and feel the pressure of, I have to get on base. I have to get on base. I have to get on base. And maybe, so they had him everywhere under the sun. They've hit him 3rd, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Where did they not hit him? The 2 ones that you want him to get on base most readily, 1st and 9th. So that's the only thing I can think of. So now they will go, okay, he started off hot. He's good. He's going to play every day.
Yeah, then they get credit for being, we want to ease him. I ain't buying that shit.
You see how this goes? You see how he doesn't want to.
Never satisfied.
Never satisfied. We knew that, we just didn't want, that's why it worked out so well. No, bullshit.
I can't get no.
I ain't buying it.
Satisfaction.
I ain't buying it. No.
You know the new phrase now for the
that's Rays? A roll. That's like some Keith Richards bullshit logic you're throwing at me now, bro.
And Keith Richards.
That's
how are you dogging
speaking
Keith
of
Richards? He's a legend.
Well, you just did the Rolling Stones thing. I was saying that's a decision that was even Keith Richard on meth would have figured that out on whatever heroin, whatever trip he's on.
Keith Richards,
even as screwed up as he might be after a show,
said, like, man,
you
gotta leave that boy off, man. Leave him alone.
That bloke, Chandler Simpson,
Governor.
Lead off, of course.
Lead off, of course. Don't even watch baseball.
Yeah.
The new phrase for the Rays now, back in the day, Tommy Glavine, it was chicks dig the long ball.
Now it's the long ball.
No, it's chicks dig the bunt ball.
The bunt ball. How beta of us.
I have no comment on that.
Perfectly American. That is
American husbands right now.
No, just don't hit it over the wall.
And you want to come watch me in my beer league? I'm gonna bunt tonight.
Like Tim Walz was a great bunter. That's all he had.
Holy cow. Buddy, I went out of my way to watch Hamon in this softball league. You played 4 times. Honey, that's our new tactic right now. That's our new tactic.
You're not allowed.
Hey, if it's winning Major League Baseball games, damn it,
dude, I love it. I think it's exciting.
I love small ball
guys running around and scoring and diving all over the place.
And stealing bases.
When well executed, it's just it's great. Yeah. I love it. These move, it's not striking out, walking, hitting home runs all the time. It's just, which is boring as can be, man. This is get the ball in play, put the pressure on the defense, run your ass off. Let's go.
What was the roster like when in their heyday of Joe Magic Madden? It was a couple of boppers.
Yeah. Carlos.
You had Carlos and you had Evan.
You had Crawford and BJ.
And then you had Crawford and BJ, Zobrist. Everybody ran.
Yeah, everybody ran.
Everybody ran, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he would do the safety
and made contact too.
And made contact.
Yeah.
And every now and then, boom, Carlos would pop it, 3-run jack. Evan would pop
it.
Yeah.
Little pop from BJ every now and then.
Yeah, BJ would drop you 22, 27, 25 jacks. But he was running.
Yeah.
They were running.
They were athletic.
First to third, gapper from first, you're scoring. So, bottom line, they're kind of playing that baseball, and I love it.
Yeah,
you got a couple of boppers, and
and if they can just fix this defense and throw somebody out at second stealing, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Have we thrown anybody out?
No, we did the other day, and that
series.
We threw a guy out in that series.
Oh.
I can't remember who it was, but I believe we threw a
Big
guy.
Poppy. Big Poppy try to steal.
It was Aaron Boone trying to steal. I think from.
That's not the only one we could get at this point. All right, Timmy's saying, "Shut the hell up." We can 7.
Yeah,
that's like they're walking us.
You've been dealing.
They're
with
walking us
here.
off at the Oscars here. All right, thank you guys for the great.
Anybody else?
I got a lunch appointment.
Big O show coming up around 12:30. Join us for that. Have a great day, everybody. We got a big show coming your way. It's going to get crazy. See you.